Welcome back to Primetime News. Several sections of the corporate area are now under curfew. The Constabulary Communication Network said the curfew started an hour ago. The communities under curfew include sections of Maxfield Avenue, Spanish Town Road, Marcus Garvey Drive and Princess Street. The curfew is expected to continue until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. The police said during this time, movement will be restricted as per the instructions of the ground commander. The public defender is calling for a commission of inquiry into this week's military-led operation in West Kingston. Speaking at a press briefing today, Earl Witter raised questions about several areas of the operation. Nadine MacLeod reports.
Repeat that we shall not simply be accepting the bare say-so of complainants in Tivoli Gardens or anywhere. We shall endeavour to be as forensic as possible.
Public Defender Earl Witter speaking about the investigation into the conduct of the security forces during the incursion in West Kingston. Mr. Witter said he has recommended that the Prime Minister call for a commission of inquiry into the conduct of the security forces. The Public Defender also said an investigation will be conducted into the weapons found in Tivoli Gardens.
The time, place and circumstance of the finding or discovery of all weapons, including those since Tuesday evening, will be established by credible evidence. That is this, yes, because by the end of the day, Tuesday, we were told about 5, and that in fact, none of those 5 have been recovered from inside Tivoli Gardens proper. I don't know where these additional firearms were recovered.
In the meantime, Mr. Witter has dismissed reports made by residents that the security forces buried the bodies of those killed in the incursion.
We are not aware of any burials having taken place of any corpses or any human remains.
And despite maintaining his silence on Mr. Coke's extradition, Mr. Witter said,
in his own interest and that of the people of Jamaica, I advise Mr. Coke to surrender himself so that he does not have to be taken forcibly by the security forces into their custody.
On Tuesday, Prime Minister Bruce Golding instructed Mr. Witter and the political ombudsman Bishop Harold Blair to visit Tivoli Gardens to conduct an independent assessment of the security operation. The reports from both men were conflicting. Mr. Witter said the area resembled a war zone in which women and children were held in subhuman condition, while Mr. Blair was satisfied that the security forces were taking care of the residents. Nadine MacLeod, TVJ News.
And despite howls of abuse from West Kingston residents, the police and soldiers are insisting that they acted professionally in the incursion. Dashan Hendricks reports.
Although some West Kingston residents say they were abused by members of the security forces, the police and the soldiers think the operation in Tivoli Gardens was well done. Yesterday, they got a word of commendation from their seniors.
In terms of the conduct of the men and women who were in the operation, I am proud of their conduct. I'm proud of their discipline. I'm proud of their courage. I am proud of their resilience. I am proud to be the person leading the members of the JCF at this time, and I believe my colleague from the military is equally proud about the conduct of his men and women. We have had reports of misconduct. We are determined to investigate every one of them. If we find any evidence to support them, we are going to take serious disciplinary action.
To underscore their professionalism, they also showed us video footage of soldiers helping residents during the operation.
This is actually during the operation, during the gunfire, that members of the security forces had to stop to try and help some of the citizens who were injured during this incursion.
Dashan Hendricks, TVJ News.
Members of the security forces who were involved in the recent shooting incident in Kirkland Heights, St. Andrew, which resulted in the death of Keith Clarke, have been taken off frontline duty. Police Commissioner Owen Ellington made the announcement in a press release issued today. Keith Clarke, who is a brother of former Government Minister Claude Clarke, was killed during Thursday's operation, which was aimed at capturing West Kingston strongman Christopher Dudus Coke. The release stated that the conduct of the entire operation in East Kirkland Heights is being reviewed. It also stated that the heads of the security forces express deep regret at the loss of lives since the commencement of the operation aimed at capturing fugitive Christopher Coke and to repel orchestrated criminal attacks against the security forces. The police high command also assured the family, relatives, friends and colleagues of Mr. Clarke, along with the entire nation, that a swift, thorough and professional investigation will be conducted into the matter. The police have released all the people who were detained during the military-led operation in West Kingston. The police explained that a total of over 980 people were processed and released. However, Deputy Commissioner of Police Charles Scarlett said some of the detainees have been identified as people of interest.
Those persons have been taken into police custody for further interrogation. In fact, we have identified a person wanted for murder, burglary and larceny, as well as other related offences.
The police said 10 of the detainees were placed in police custody, pending charges being laid against them. Meanwhile, DCP Scarlett said juveniles were given priority during the release.
When the juveniles were released, they were released in the care of 2 persons from the West Kingston area. We provided transport that conveyed them to the community. 2 trips were made. And it is to my certain knowledge that we got no complaints at all in relation to any mistreatment.
The Child Development Agency says most of the children have been returned to their families, except for one who has been placed in a place of safety. The security forces are reporting an increase in the number of weapons and ammunition found in the operation in West Kingston. The security forces say they have now found 33 guns, 5 more than what was reported yesterday. They also say over 9,000 assorted rounds of ammunition have been seized in the operation. Meanwhile, the security forces say they have advised residents of Tivoli Gardens not to go near barricades. The residents are also to report any strange devices they see in the community.
We are seeking to complete the searching process that we're doing as quickly as possible. And as was mentioned before, there are a lot of improvised explosive devices in the area. And we're asking citizens to report any sightings of these devices.
Yesterday, the security forces revealed that several improvised explosive devices were found in West Kingston. An international